Hi friends. Happy Wednesday. So, I just wanted to share a little message before I forget. Do you guys ever experience that? Like, you'll get a download or you'll have an insight or a light bulb moment and you're like, man, I should share this with somebody. But before you even get the chance to share it, you forget. This is why I like to write things down, but sometimes I don't always have time to write down the thoughts that come to mind. But what I wanted to express today, in hopes that this can either help someone gain insight into themselves or help them to make sense of a scenario that they could have experienced, is that intention. What is your intention? Your intention is really, one way we can describe it is basically the emotion or the feeling that is leading your actions. Hi there. That's the intention. The emotion or feeling inside of you that's leading an action. Thank you. They're strips. I appreciate that. I mean, I definitely had to try to put them on at least 3 times before I got them perfect. So thanks a lot for that, Brian. But basically, when a person is coming from a place of ill intention, and an ill intention doesn't even always, this is what I had to realize. It doesn't always mean that a person wants to do bad. An ill intention can be something that is coming from an emotion that is more so on the negative side. And sometimes I do believe that people can be unaware of that, because I truly don't believe that people just want to do bad. You know, I always feel like there's some deeper underlying cause to what drives a person to do certain actions that can be deemed as bad. And before I read these comments, I just have to finish this thought so that I don't lose it. But essentially, when you are making a decision based off of insecurity or lack or trying to gain acceptance from others, which still to me is kind of coming from insecurity. Understand, when decisions and actions are made from those places, it's always going to backfire. It's always going to backfire. I need you to hear this. If you are even around people and you can identify it, because it's take a situation that should have just been normal and fine and dandy, but you can clearly know that the intentions were off somewhere when it all backfires or just melts into chaos somehow. That means somewhere within that flow of energies, there was an ill intention. And when we're moving from a place of ill intention, it's always going to backfire. So this is the thing. You can still obtain what you want. You can still get the desired result that you're looking for when you're moving from ill intentions, whether it's a tangible thing, what have you. But the but here is that it's going to be obtained in a negative way. There's going to be something that will sour that experience for you. There's going to be something, it's going to be like you get what you want, but not in the way that you want it. And that's because it's not really coming from a place of pure intention or a place of love or a place of security. It's coming from insecurity. It's coming from lack. It's coming from all of these negative things that we can feel within ourselves. And this is why I say this to say it's very important, one, to be aware of what we're feeling within ourselves, to go deep within ourselves and really identify how we're feeling before we make choices, before we make decisions, before we engage with others, but also to be aware of where the people that we surround ourselves with are at. Because what I'll tell you is, it's really never going to be a good idea to be around somebody who's insecure. That's the bottom line. I feel like I personally have experienced being an insecure person, and as growing out of that, I easily recognize it in others. And I always find that when I do open myself up to be around people who are not secure in themselves, just being around me will be enough to trigger them. just being around me will trigger people's insecurity. But again, I know that it's about them and it's not about me. And this can be dangerous. And why can it be dangerous? Because understand, when a person is in a state of insecurity, they're in a state of lack, essentially this can also throw them into a state of survival. And when people are in those modes, in those emotions, in those mindsets, they're really quite willing to do whatever. And this is why it's really a liability, and it is dangerous. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's dangerous to just be around people who are not secure within themselves, because then while they're doing all of their self-serving actions and doing things out of that place of insecurity, anything that goes wrong is automatically going to be projected onto you, because in the presence of you, you are acting as a trigger for their insecurity. So just understand. Just understand. Okay, I'm reading the comments now. Thank you for the roses, Turtle. I appreciate that. Yes, Joshua, I do play video games. Brian, I believe people view things based on the way they view the world. Absolutely. So, we're all experiencing the world in very different ways based on our programming, Chris, what do you mean what happened? I know. That's the thing. There's definitely a moment that triggered this insight, but I feel that the insight is more important than the moment that it came out of. Have to be around positive people. Absolutely. But the thing is, insecure people can be positive people. That insecure people can be positive people, but it's just to understand that insecurity is so covert. It's so covert. And I really try to be gracious with people around me if they have insecurities. But the thing is, again, people who are insecure will project it. They will start to project things onto what they deem as the cause. That's kind of you. No, nobody. Oh, Josh, well, you should probably keep looking for someone to challenge you. Tiro, it sounds like you already have the answer to that. I just simply came to share my thoughts. Not really debating today. Just speaking freely. Well, the thing is, because insecurity is about a person, a oneself, it really wouldn't even matter if you're around positive people, because in fact, some people can be so insecure. And the thing is, insecure can look different for everyone. It's not, everyone wouldn't have the same insecurities. They don't express them in the same ways. Some people are probably not even aware of what their insecurities are. But being around a positive person can actually, in fact, trigger a person who is insecure, because they can feel unsettled that they're around something that they would like to embody or be like, and it makes them feel less than. Howdy, how's it going? Okay, guys, but thanks for listening to my rant. I'm actually just in the process of trying to figure out, what do I want to have for dinner. There's always like this period of time, almost each day, that I'm just like, okay, what do I want to have for dinner? And then I have to sit and I have to wait and I have to like really see how I feel. I have to wait till it comes to me and it's like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Thanks, Bobby. I appreciate that. Oh, Tyree, yes, we were just chatting, really. I appreciate it. So I was actually, I'm still going back and forth on if I want to stream later. I kind of need to like get my Fortnite skills up, so I might do that. But again, first things first, I need to figure out what I'm having for dinner. What are you guys having for dinner? Give me some ideas. Apex. You know what's so crazy? I just saw a billboard for Apex not far from in my neighborhood. And I was like, oh, that's cool. They got a billboard. I tried Apex. I didn't really love it. A sub. You know what? Jimmy John's crossed my mind earlier, but I was like, I don't really need to be eating that bread. Gumbo? I don't think I've ever had gumbo. Chicken and beer. Chicken and beer. I like ginger beer. So I was kind of leaning towards like a seafood Alfredo pasta, but then I was just thinking about all the steps. Like, I don't really feel like cooking, I'm not gonna lie. Jamaican food, yes. Listen, I've been dying for oxtail. I have been wanting oxtail so bad for the last few days, and I have yet to have it. Baked tenders and broccoli, that sounds halfway healthy but satisfying. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. So do you guys, I'm trying to think. So the places that I really like to have oxtail in Atlanta, Mangoes. Ever since I tried them, I was like, wow, this is really good. But I just don't want to drive over there all the time. And then like the parking and any downtown areas, I'm instantly over it because I just hate parking situations. I get highly anxious when I just have to keep circling a block looking for parking. It's busy traffic. Like, I'd rather not. Never had oxtail. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious when it's made right. Baked tenders. I mean, I don't know. When I think of tenders, I think of like, I don't know. Chicken tenders just makes me think of like, you know, little dinosaur tenders that kids eat. I'm sure that's not what you're having, but that's just the image that goes into my mind when you say that. And I guess we can even say, let's take that as proof that we're just all living in different, you know, we're all living in our own perception of the world, because when you say tenders, that's the perception that I have, but that's just me. I see. Okay. Literally, chicken tenders equals dinosaur chicken tenders to me. When I hear chicken tenders, I think dinosaur tenders instantly. Well, that's good. I hope you enjoy your healthy dinner. Did you guys do anything exciting today? I'm not gonna lie, y'all, right? These eyelashes really do look good. Like, I'm gonna have to remember exactly how I put them on today, because wow, it's just amazing what eyelashes can do. Yeah, it isn't. I agree. You just have to find out how to swap certain things out. So I'm a huge pasta fan. Like, I love pasta so much, but you know, we know what pasta can do to us. So one little hack that I like to do is I'll specifically only look for vegetable-based pastas, and just like, so it'll be like a spinach pasta or lentil-based pasta. I always try to go for pastas that are not made out of grains. So that way I can eat as much pasta as I want, but I'm not actually taking in those carbs. I didn't really do anything exciting. I had an idea of what I needed to do today, and I did not do it. And I'm okay with that. So going where? To work? Haven't decided. Curry shrimp. That sounds nice. Hey there. How's it going? Hey guys. I already said my blurb about intentions, but I did have some other downloads that came to me. I guess I can share since we're here. One thing that came to me, and again, this might only apply to me. Close your ears if it doesn't apply to you. Another thing is that staying present, if you always stay in the present moment, you will always know what to do next. So pretty much how it came to me, for me personally, I don't know about you guys, I'm a person, I don't like to make a move unless I can anticipate every possible outcome. That's me. That's how I feel safe in the world. But what was presented to me was that if you stay in the moment, you never have to just plan for what to do next or plan for this. You're already going to know what to do. But the only way for you to know what to do in the moment is to stay present and to stay in the moment. And the reason for this is, so understand, you have your conscious mind, you have your unconscious mind, or your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, it literally processes information, I want to say at least 1,000,000 or more times faster than your conscious mind. So your conscious mind is the part of you that's sitting here. The conscious mind is the part of you that decided to click on this video, watch it, listen to what I'm saying, type in a little comment. That's your conscious mind. Your subconscious is running everything in the background. Your subconscious is making sure you're still breathing, making all the connections that need to happen so you can actually hear what I'm saying, keeping your heart beating, making sure your blood is carrying oxygen to all of your vital organs, that part of you. So once you're using the logic part of you to focus on something, now the part of you that just does all of those other little aspects that I just mentioned can take in the information of the moment way more clearly. And that's why if you stay present, you'll be able to know what to do next, because you have your most powerful processor freed up. Because when you're inside of here and you're just here and you're doing this and you're doing that, you know, you're not really allowing the unconscious to work to its max capacity, because your logic isn't really in the moment. Your logic mind, I should say. Yeah, you know what, guys, and I'm trying not to get offended by that. I don't know like what it's giving when people see me, that maybe they just, you know, people see you and they create their whole own storyline for how you are and who you are. I'm very much an introverted person. I do a lot of introspection. I spend a lot of time in books and reading, and the most fascinating thing to me is just the human mind and existence itself, and how it's so subjective, and how if people will just practice vulnerability, which is just sharing experiences, we can more collectively have a better idea of how the world really works. And to me, basically, I just thrive on self-mastery. Everything for me in life is just about self-mastery and improvement of myself and better understanding, because I just feel like, you know, basically I want to be the best that I can be in life, in whatever I do. And I understand that to do that, I literally need to understand how I work as a being. Because first of all, these bodies that we have, state of the art. This is probably, we're literally living inside of some of the most fascinating machinery that's probably ever been created. And I don't think people think about that enough. Like when you just sit and think about the fact that of all the different mechanisms that have to come together for you to exist in the capacity that you do. I mean, and if you have good health, if you're in perfect health, even more amazing is it just like, so to look outside of me for that, it doesn't make sense when I understand I'm already living in a vehicle that's been designed to take me wherever I need to go and want to go, and help me to accomplish whatever it is I want to, but I just have to know how to use it. I really appreciate, listen, Dre, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm still a human. I'm still a human at the end of it all. And I do love praise, admiration. I mean, it feels really good. But I just try to always remain in that humble position of just knowing like there's so much that I don't know, and it feels good. I just never try to be taken away by just the human experience. I never want to be carried away by the human experience, because I know that there's literally just so much more to life than these human experiences. And yes, we're here to have them, but I just don't want to be carried away by them. But I do appreciate it. Listen, I couldn't hear it enough. I mean, it's just really cozy. So for me, I haven't probably fully figured this part of myself out yet, but I find that I feel safest and most comfortable when I'm just like in enclosed spaces that just feel comfortable for me. So honestly, I'm definitely one of those humans who will sit in my car until I just feel like getting out of it. But also, I knew that I wanted to make some runs and stuff, and I haven't decided where yet. But it's just like, if I would have stayed in the house, I literally wouldn't have left the house again for the rest of the day. Humility is important. I'm still learning and actively practicing it. Like, that has definitely been a struggle for me in life, just because I've always been a person who likes to seek truth, and I want to share it, and I want to use my voice. And so in the younger Destiny, definitely felt like she knew everything. Definitely can kind of side eye people who are not concerned with truth seeking. But I've just learned that why it's a lonely path. I've learned why it's a lonely path. Hey, what's goody? I have water sign in my chart. I'm a Taurus. Actually, my birthday was last Friday. So a prison cell would be cozy to you? My own personal controlled environments. No, never. So I actually used to work at Fulton County Jail. And yeah, when I seen them cells, no. I mean, no. Those cells, no. But a small enclosed cozy space. Cozy? Did I not say cozy? A prison cell is not cozy. No, I'm the first day of Taurus. So the 21st is the first day of Taurus. Yeah. I had to get up out of there. That was, I'll let you know right now, it was not a place of God. It was not a place of God, but they sure did always try to use the word of God to keep employees in line. I didn't respect that. So I had to see myself out. I had to see myself out of there. Okay, hello, fellow Taurus. Hello, fellow Taurus. Happy early birthday to you. It was not a place of God. It sure wasn't. And I was very disturbed by that. Every time I had to go there, I was very disturbed by it. I was disturbed all around. Okay, Aries gang, happy belated birthday. Oh, I'm not going to say I was scared, because I'm going to be honest with you. It might not look like it, but I've seen a lot of things in my 29 years, and there really isn't much that scares me in life. Probably the biggest fear that I have is just not working up to my absolute maximum potential. But as far as external harms, I don't know. I've faced many external harms in my lifetime. So it's not that I was scared. I was disgusted. Understand that there's a difference. Well, believe it or not, I can count all my fights on one hand. I'm not a violent person. I'm not an aggressive person, but I do feel like life has thrown me certain experiences so that in the event that I have to be, I can be. And as I mentioned, there's not really a lot that just scares me. I'm well. What's cracking you up, 27? It's mature vibes. I'm mature. I'm like half and half. I'm half and half because I'm very connected to my inner child in certain aspects. That's why I can create the way that I do. I can connect with nature. I'm very connected. I love to stay connected to my youth. But I understand that the part of me that has to deal on the earthly plane and deal in societal affairs, I did have to become a very mature person to keep my sanity, in this world. Yes, I do. I use the Sony A7 III. Sorry, I can't speak. A7 III. That's correct. And I love it. That's my baby. I'm not gonna lie to you. That camera is my baby. Thank you for the roses. Oh shoot, Chris, you got the #1 gifter badge. Thank you, thank you. Well, happy 27th to you, Cam in the cut. And Aware, I'm doing well today. Thank you for asking. Hey, you guys, please don't take it personally if I miss your comments. I'm trying to make sure I read them all. Isn't she? I mean, and then when you get your good lenses. So my favorite lens to use on my camera is my 85. I mean, my autofocus is just like, it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know that photography is my passion because like taking a good picture it just like literally I can feel the butterflies in my stomach and like my heart fluttering from just creating a beautiful image. And that's usually how I try to judge things in life. I let that feeling navigate me. If something makes my heart flutter and, you know, it just literally, it's like sparkles flowing up. This is how I navigate through decisions in life. I feel sparkles flowing up from the sacral, and I'll know this is something that's lighting me up inside. And sometimes when things are not really for me, it's either going to feel very dull, it's going to feel neutral, I'll feel empty. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that empty. If something gives me an empty feeling, I know it's probably not for me, because I know what it feels like in my body when something is for me. And it just feels like that. It's amazing. And I'll be honest, because I feel like as a coping or survival mechanism in life, I have spent so much time in my head, so much time in my mind. I really have felt disconnected from my body for a long time. And I'm just starting to learn how to just even identify just like what I'm feeling, what the sensation feels like in the body. How do I recognize the empty feeling? Oh, hold on. I missed some comments. Hold on. Or Sigma. I've never tried Sigma, but I've heard great things about them. When did you realize you could be both mature and still silly and compassionate towards people? That probably happened maybe around 25 or 26, because it's crazy. In my teens, I definitely will always hear the same thing from people. Destiny, you're so serious. Lighten up. Like, you never joke. You never this. And I was very hardened. I was very hardened towards life. And pessimistic and in all of those things. And I think just around 25 is when I really started to feel like an adult, and like really started to be like, whoa, like I have responsibilities. And I don't know, even I would have to say the last 2 years, like 27 is when I feel like I really, really woke up to say like, okay, I don't have to just like be this or that. And I'm a huge advocate for that. You don't have to be this or that. Like you don't have to ever put yourself into a box. It really makes me sick that we live in a world that it's just like you always have to be defined in some way. You always, like, even just with my labels, oh, are you a gamer, are you a photographer? These are things that I do. Like, this is not just like, it's not how I define myself though. And I always encourage people, leave the labels alone, because we're here to experience and taste life. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna taste every aspect of life. I'm gonna flow in and out of all different ways of being and ways of existing, because why will I just waste this lifetime just trying to box myself in and just make myself be just like one thing? I personally can't do that, or I don't want to. Let me not say I can't. At this stage of my life, I haven't hit a point where I feel like this is what it is and this is what I'm just going to do and be, and this is me for the rest of my life. No, who I am is I'm an explorer, I'm an innovator, I'm an adventurer. I'm someone that can't be put into a box. I'm a butterfly. I'm flowing all around. I'm trying this flower, that flower. I'm going here, I'm going there. And that's just how I like to live my life. That's how I feel like I make the most of my life. And that's how I feel like I gain more wisdom and have a broader range of perception in life, because I don't just try to stay in this box where I only have this perception. And now I have to rely on only conversations and experiences from other people to widen that perception. No, I'm flowing all around so I can gain all different perceptions for myself. And then I can connect with all kinds of people, because I've lived all kinds of lives in one. That's my philosophy though, and I understand that life is subjective. Thank you for the roses. How do you recognize the empty feeling? Hold on, let me see. The empty feeling, it's hard, because I've actually just come to the curiosity or realization that though we all have the same basic senses, we do not all experience those senses in the same way. So empty for me might not feel like empty for somebody else. So it is that I'm responding to, it's not stimulating me. And I leave it at that. And if it's usually negative, it's interesting, because again, it takes some time alone and with yourself to really get in tune enough with your body to understand what your body's trying to communicate to you. And I would encourage all of you guys to do that if you haven't, just because, our gut, they say our gut, that's why it's the gut instinct, it's the first mind. Your body is far more intelligent than our little logic pea brains. The prefrontal cortex, which is the part that controls the logic, it's the youngest part of your brain. But your gut, the gut is always pretty much more aware than the mind is. So it will be so beneficial, and you'll literally melt away so much resistance in your life by getting in tune with your body. So and when things are negative, this is what I was going to say, it actually feels like pins and needles going more downward. So I know if something is a go for me, the energy is going to travel upward. If it's a no for me, it's going to travel downward. And if I'm just not turned on by it, not stimulated, or it's just like a not right now, it's just going to feel neutral. It's going to feel like nothing. This year was the awakening year. I'm so happy to hear that for you, Dre. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. The world opens up after 21, 22. You realize categories people try and put you in really don't. Photography and videography. Poetry and paint. That's exciting. Lovely. Love like-minded people. Same. And I feel like that's why I'm really grateful for the internet right now, because, in the real world, alignment is real on all levels. But in the electromagnetic field that we operate in on the physical plane, it works the same way as the internet. I just feel like it doesn't work as fast. And that might just be because I keep my visibility low, so things can't come at me fast. But on the internet, I truly believe that whatever intention you harbor in your heart, when you send it through these waves, it's, first of all, think about this. This energy is coming out of my body through my voice, creating sound waves. It's traveling through a device. This device is shooting out everything that I'm projecting, including how I feel and the intention, where it's coming from, through to you. And I feel like through internet waves, it's actually faster to align whatever it is that you're trying to obtain. And for me, I love to converse with like-minded people myself, but in my everyday, I feel like it's hard because I'm just not a person who's going outside, just talking, trying to meet people. Oh, thanks, James. I appreciate that. Used to do photography and videography. Now I work for the news. Wow, that's pretty exciting, Lorel. Thank you for sharing that. I can only imagine how versatile it is. You saying that makes me think of this movie I watched called Nightcrawler. Did you guys ever watch that? It's pretty much about like a photographer, and he learns that if he starts capturing crimes and such, he can sell the footage to the news. And I thought it was a very interesting movie. The most beautiful part of someone is their mind and spirit. Absolutely, Cam. I agree 100%. And I feel like this is why it can be in the physical plane. It can be challenging to try to meet people in real life, because I'm going to meet you and I'm going to instantly start talking about this. I'm meeting a person and I'm instantly trying to see what that soul do. So it's kind of like people, if they're not used to that, and many are not, they can be taken aback. They can be suspicious of it. They can they can feel weird by someone trying to uncover their soul. But some people, they're open to it, and they're actually very grateful that someone is seeing them. And how I do that is just through questions that I ask. I'm very strategic with questions and understanding, because questions are the answers. And in fact, if you think about the word question itself, it starts with quest, meaning when you ask a question, that question is guiding you down a path of a quest to an answer. And it's crazy, but I love words, so I'm always breaking words down to find their true meanings. So I go on my quests to find out who people really are, and I do that through asking very strategic questions about them, questions that probably no one's ever asked them before, or questions that people don't generally care to ask. I ask because I think it's great to get to know people on that level, because then it's easier to clear away biases. It's easier to look past things that we see on the surface and we assign our own meanings to, that cause us to completely misinterpret people. Physical fades over time, mind and spirit remains intact. Absolutely. If a girl doesn't make you nervous, it's not right. Well, wait, why would you, what about it makes you nervous? I learned that I intimidate people sometimes when I talk because I'm intelligent. So I've learned to go off of their vibe. Cam, and you know what? That's a great point. So that reminds me of just like there's a time and place for everything. And I have had people closer to me that just say, Destiny, it's just because every scenario doesn't call for that level of engagement. But the hard part is that that's just me to the core. So I think there's an aspect of myself that is a little bit resentful that I often find myself having to confine myself so that other people don't feel uncomfortable, but no one, or it can feel like people don't expand themselves so that I can feel more comfortable. It constantly will feel like I'm always accommodating people, but who's trying to actually get to know who I am? Who's actually trying to understand why I might be a certain way? So it can start to breed resentment, but I guess that's where it comes from, just like being in tune with yourself, knowing yourself, loving yourself, and just also in general understanding that a lot of people are just not at that level of awareness. And this is not, it's not to make it into a hierarchy or a sense of elitism, but it's just the facts. It's just the reality. And I know it, and I can speak it because I've once been a person who was at a more limited level of awareness. And when you're there, a lot of this is just going to sound like, what the you see. So having that understanding lets me, and this is again why I usually lead with questions, so I can just talk and talk and talk and talk here, because I'm sitting in my car by myself, I'm talking to a screen, I understand you guys are hearing me, but I'm comfortable to just keep jabbering on because I don't feel like anyone's feeling uncomfortable by it. But if a person meets me in person, like you said, feeling the vibe out, I'll probably just be more quiet. A lot of people who don't know me, they think like I'm just very quiet, or I don't talk that much, or I'm shy. It's not that, but I just have to understand the aspect of me that wants to be expressed right now, and the part of you that I want to get to know is probably not appropriate. Hey, what's good, nostalgic? Hey, how are you? Yeah, and meeting them where they are, so true. People don't have the same intellect level, and you have to ease them into being comfortable first and progress through conversations. So true, Cam. I agree wholeheartedly. What's goody? Are you streaming today? If I was a roach, would I feel bad for stepping on you? No, I'll feed you to my bearded dragon, and I'll feel grateful that you can be released back into the earth. How long does it take me to open up to people? It kind of depends. Like, I feel like I'm an open book if I feel like it's a very authentic and genuine vibe. If it's a like mind, there we go. If it's a like mind, I can be an open book because, now we're just bouncing intellect and it's just flowing. But I mean, in terms of just like neutral friendships that might just like, friendships serve purposes. You got your friends you go out with, you do this, you do that. Is very compartmentalized. I'm working on that, but I think it's safer and it's more helpful to kind of compartmentalize your relationships and which aspect of yourself that you give to each person or each type of person in your life. Stomp and twist or step and drag. I'm not doing either one. I'm picking them up with some tongs and I'm putting it in the tank, and then you're just gonna get eaten. Yes, I am. Click your live. Wait, hold on. You clicked my live and it ended yours. Oh my gosh. So resetting. Okay. So are you streaming right now or later tonight? I think I'm going to stream in a couple hours. We'll see. I can't make any promises yet. I have to eat dinner first. Everything is always dependent on me eating first. Because if my belly is not full with something delicious, I can't even think straight. Getting fed to the dragon, that part. Would you... You guys are so interested in dating lives. That's funny to me. I don't discriminate. Like I told you guys, I see souls. I'm not just even gonna say I don't see color. Like, obviously, we're all aware of just societal constructs around those things. But like, personally, I'm a soul person. So if the soul is good, is not gonna be like, oh, but damn, this person's such a good person, but they're white. Like, it just wouldn't be that. Assassin's Creed, nice. I never played that. I never played Demon Slayer either. I should expand my, you know what? I actually wanted to play zombies, so maybe I'll download Cold War on the PS5, or I might even just do a console stream from the PS4, maybe no face cam. I mean, you guys see my face now. What do you suggest when you see that your energy presence is overwhelming to others? I mean, I just shut up. I'm not going to lie to you. It's just happened so many times. Even thinking about it just gives me like a tense feeling in my chest though. But as soon as I feel the energy shift because of my energy, I just be quiet. I'll probably dismiss myself or just try to just disappear, just literally remove my presence. I start to actually reject myself. That's something I'm still working on, but I have experienced it a numerous amount of times. I start to feel that I'm being rejected, and then I end up just rejecting myself. Not greedy. I just really appreciate delicious food. Like, that is, how I basically even understand how I just describe how I go through life. I'm tasting life. I'm a foodie. Like, I'm a food girl. I love delicious and just like delicious savory foods, and it lights me up inside. Truly lights me up inside. Okay. Okay, definitely. I will. We can definitely run some because I need to get some W's. I'm trying to get my ranks up. I'm from upstate New York. You're yourself from watching your live in this short amount of time. Well, thanks for saying so, Cam. I'm so glad that, that this app and these telephones and this internet and how far the world has advanced can allow us to connect with people that we find like ourselves, even if they're not in our immediate environment. That I can appreciate, and it just serves to me as confirmation that, life is really, it's like a mirror where we're living in the projection field, and what we're giving off is what we're going to get back. So I guess if you feel like you're resonating and you found this, then I feel like we can safely assume that you're in alignment with yourself and it's being reflected back to you. This is confirmation if I've ever heard it. Remember that meeting someone where they are to help them expand is way more important than showing. I appreciate showing your intelligence to them. Thank you. That's definitely something to keep in mind. And I feel like over time, I've been learning that more instead of trying to flex the brain muscle. That definitely used to be me because, when you work on something and you cultivate it so much, like, you want to show it. But now it's definitely more of like how can I use what I've experienced in life and what I feel that I know to help others, but not. One thing I also struggle with is trying to help people who haven't asked me for help. It's generally never welcome. But allowing people to seek me out and then not really just telling them, but like I mentioned with strategic questioning, asking questions for them to explore themselves in the ways that can help them grow. All right, see you later, Heartbreak. Hey, what's goody? Thank you guys so much for hearing me out, because I'm not gonna lie, it just simply just being heard can really feel great, because as I've mentioned, sometimes in our physical realities, we don't have people immediately around us who can understand these things, or let alone even want to hear them realistically. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. Treating people like plants and watering your relationships? Absolutely. Mr. Jazz, what's goody? What instrument you play? Mr. Jazz. I love jazz music. So that's another way that I try to keep my mind sharp and not and uninfluenced, I love to listen to music that doesn't have lyrics. I love to listen to music that doesn't have lyrics. That's a lot of jazz. I mean, lo-fi too, but primarily I listen to a lot of jazz. I love a good piano, a good saxophone. Ooh! I mean, I be listening to these songs thinking, you know what? I probably could play this instrument. Literally, I be hearing tunes like, you know what? I feel like I can learn how to play this. Everything inspires me. I'm going to be honest. Everything inspires me in life. And that's why I say I want to taste life. I want to try everything because honestly, I do believe that we're living in a reality of infinite variations of ourselves, infinite opportunities, infinite outcomes. So I feel like if I see something and I feel like I can do that, I'm going to try to do it. But I got to get the feeling. Trumpet. Okay, that's nice. I hope you have some TikToks of you playing. It's a lot of fun. It sounds like it. So actually, when I was a kid, I used to play the drums. Funny enough, so my mom, and I'll let you guys also in on a little secret. Everything that you're seeing, that you're feeling of me right now is, I will have to say 100%, I'm going to give it to my mother for just cultivating my mind as a child. I probably slid out of the womb to a book. Here you go. Time to start reading. So from a very early age, I always enjoyed reading, finding information, being curious about the world, because that's what my mother cultivated inside of me. And she literally, I mean, I was so against it at the time, but she was so set on us having a family band. Me, my sister, and her. So she played the guitar, and it was so awesome. Like, I remember I have this vivid memory. 3rd grade, she came to my class. She played the guitar for my class, and like everybody loved it. I mean, gosh, I love my mom so much, guys. I couldn't express it enough. But yeah, that's how I got my little bit of drum skills. But again, I was always more rebellious when I was younger. I never wanted to be told what to do. I always wanted to decide for myself. So I never really carried on with it. My sister, however, she still plays instruments. Okay, I'll have to check you out. What type of books do you read? I like books by Robert Greene and Napoleon Hill. I enjoy Napoleon Hill. Robert Greene, that sounds so familiar. You played the drums too. Listen, I would actually try to do the drums again. Oh, Playboy and Hustler. I like those too. For me, for leisure or like fiction, I really love Stephen King. That's my boy. But in terms of like expanding my knowledge and awareness in life, I don't really just have like favorite authors. I have speakers I love. I love Bob Proctor. I love Dr. Bruce Lipton. He's a goodie. There are others. I'll have to look, but I just kind of more so have my genres or topics I like to explore. Laws of Human Nature. Okay, I thought that sounded familiar. Yes, so I did read The Laws of Human Nature. I actually would want to read that one again. That was a goodie. Oh, Bob, man. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Some of these speakers I listen to them so much, I feel like I know them. I feel like we cool now. And it's just like, dang, that's really the power of the internet. That's the power of a good word. And that was also something that came to me last night. So last night I was meditating, and a lot of thoughts are able to reveal themselves to me. And another thing that came to me last night was that basically, if you know how to use this, and if you know how to use this in the right ways, it can just carry you through life. Which is to say, your talk game. If you know how to use your voice, if you know how to use words, if you know how to speak well, you can pretty much command any situation that you're in. And so I feel like I'm at a stage in my life now where I want to polish my gift, because I do already feel that this is something that's innately within me, speaking life into others. And I just want to make sure that I just do it in the most perfect ways that I can, because I do feel like I have a lot to say and a lot to give. And I want to help others grow themselves, because I feel like a lot of this growth I've done has been on my own. And it's not easy. And I feel like nobody should have to just do it alone. Nobody should have to just do it alone. And even the fact that humans, we're social creatures. Why are we doing shit alone? Why are we? Hey, what's goody? You feel like you know me? Tell me what you know, and I'm going to tell you if it's accurate or not. Well, hey, Mr. Jazz, thanks so much for popping through. You be blessed as well. Catch up with you another time. Dodo, I appreciate the kind words. Around speaking. And it's so funny. And I think that the things that we run away from in life are in fact what we need to be leaning into. And I remember quite a few years ago, I had a public speaking class on my schedule. And I mean, I completely rejected it. I was like, oh no, I can't do that. I mean, no, I'm not doing that. I reject public speaking. I couldn't imagine just like talking in front of people. And I'm thinking about, do I look crazy? Do I look stupid? Am I going to mess up? All those intrusive thoughts. But that's why I'm like, okay, I need to learn how to speak well. I need to learn how to actually have some control over this so that I can use it in a way that not only elevates me to where I want to be, but literally uplifts others. Like to just uplift another soul simply with your voice, simply with your words, simply by just telling them something that can resonate with them on a cellular level. I mean, I feel like that would just be the most gratifying feeling aside from someone loving my photography. That's a feeling that can never get old to me. But as I'm feeling like that's getting closer to what I need to be doing in life. I feel like you should follow up on that, Dodo. And thanks so much for the follow. Thank you, Riz. I appreciate your kind words. I appreciate your ears. I do. Thanks, Blue on Black. I'm just running my mouth. I'm just chatting. I was supposed to be sitting here thinking about what do I want to have for dinner. But, we started getting a really good flow and a good convo going. I am from upstate New York. I was actually born in the South, though. But I wasn't raised here. Get out there, feel embarrassed, and watch how many people love what you did. The best therapy. Whew, I probably needed to hear that. I feel, how I expressed to you guys how I determine how I feel towards something. Energy travels up if it's good, and travels down if it's no good, and it's neutral if it's just I felt that one trying to travel up, and I know I need to be okay with embarrassment. I need to be okay knowing that I might embarrass myself at times and that it's not the end of the world if I do. And the only way that I can actually work through that feeling is if I have more of that feeling. That's the funniest thing of how it works. We pray for God to do this and that in our lives, or to help us be more confident, or whatever it is we're asking for. But we don't realize that in order for us to gain those skills, we have to literally keep going through scenarios that will require us to use those skills. So it's going to be uncomfortable. That's why growth can be very uncomfortable. But I feel like when you just have a good support system, when you have good people around you, when you have an outlet, when you just have that, it can make it so much easier. And I will honestly say at times I don't feel like I have that, but that's not really true. That's just probably something I'm telling myself. And I need to probably just pour more into those relationships that do help me feel stable, secure, safe. And just so you know, you're public speaking right now. Yes. And so this was actually a commitment I made to myself last night. And I said, I have these messages that I want to share with others. And I don't want to just, I need to get over the fact that, I might feel crazy, or no one's going to want to hear it, and let me just start on TikTok. That's exactly why I went live. So I can just share my messages and get over that fear of just like sounding like maybe I don't make sense, or just anything your mind can conjure up to prevent you from reaching your next level. Dodo, thank you so much. I appreciate your energy, your ears, and I hope that you have a most amazing Wednesday. Thanks, Busy. That was such a cute hand heart. If I had one message for the world, what would it be? Let me really contemplate on that. oh my gosh, advice that I need to take myself. Don't be afraid to love. Ugh. And it's just like, it feels so cheesy to me because honestly, but just don't be afraid to love in any capacity. In any capacity. I feel like we experience things that shut us down emotionally, and we just tell ourselves that it's not safe. We can't do it. We can't open ourselves up. And in fact, that is the remedy. That is the antidote. That's what it is. Cannot be afraid to just literally keep loving and keep loving and keep loving, and most importantly, loving yourself. Most importantly, I have to say that it's most important, because if you don't love yourself, let me not say you, if we don't love ourselves, we can't give love. There's a void there. If it's always going to start with ourselves. So if we don't love ourselves, we're literally going to keep putting ourselves in scenarios, subconsciously, of course, that will, what's the word I'm looking for? Perpetuate. That will perpetuate and confirm to us that lack of love. So when we don't have love within ourselves, we keep going through life experiencing things that show us that there's no love. But the thing is because there's no love here. I know, you guys, because I'm just giving you the authenticity. Like, I feel it in my chest right now. It's like oh my God, Destiny, you just said that shit. But I have to honor it. I have to honor it because I know that that's the truth. You're so funny. 12 ain't behind me. I'm not driving. But thank you for that question. That was a good one. I'm glad that I had to think about that because, I was giving that message to myself too. Don't be afraid. And definitely, like I said, direct it towards yourself first and foremost. You can't pour from an empty cup. And if there's no love within you, it's very, very, very hard to find it outside of you. Because it's always going to start with what's inside of you. And the thing about cultivating love for yourself, depending on where you're coming from, it does take a lot of alone time. Because you've got to get to know yourself. To love yourself, you first have to get to know who you are, why you are the way you are. Where is this coming from? Where is that coming from? Is this a part of myself that I can accept? This is a part of myself that makes me cringe. I've always rejected this aspect of myself. Is there any way that I can love this part of myself? Lots of challenging questions and work that you have to do within yourself to really cultivate that love. It's an active journey for me. I mean, I'm practicing it daily, and just a transparent moment. There was a time when I wouldn't even wear braids because I felt too ugly. And this is the thing, like, those just little thoughts like that you don't even. Well, you guys are great. I'm glad we got to have this conversation and that you guys are interested in hearing what I have to say. And I look forward to just giving more messages. I have quite a few books I've been reading that have given me some really good insights that Riz, I can feel you on so many levels with that one. I mean, I'm constantly having conversations with myself. All these things I'm saying to you guys, I've probably openly dialogued them with myself already over the past 2 days. And there was a time when I used to actually wonder, like, is something wrong with me? Like, because I really be having whole conversations with myself. But I had to understand that this is kind of, it's a way for me to think and to connect dots. If I don't verbally get something out of me so I can hear it, is kind of hard for me to organize information. So I am constantly just speaking things through with myself so that I can have it formed all pretty and packaged up nicely when I present it to others. Well, I'm so happy to hear that. It feels good to know that, the quirks or the things that you've questioned about yourself are things that other people are experiencing. And this is why I feel like vulnerability is a superpower. You got to get comfortable sharing your human experience with others, because the thing is, I think that society, and I hate to say that because I'm even trying to let that mindset go that, it's just, they're trying to brainwash us and all the things. And while I believe that's true, I just feel like to keep society organized and running smoothly, or as smoothly as whoever's in charge thinks, you pretty much have to have everybody on one page perception wise. So if you keep everyone thinking this is how it is and this is how it is, everyone thinks that's how it is. But then you have the people that are living their lives every day, and it's like, well, I'm not really like that. And now you're thinking something's wrong with you. But when we all share what's really going on, we can see, oh, I'm not crazy. This is normal. I'm not crazy. This is just part of the human experience. But they just not telling us that on the wide scale. Definitely have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I tell you, I loves to be comfortable. That's why I just try to stay in very controlled environments. But I'm learning, you got to get out in the world, got to get out in the field. Can't be afraid to not be able to predict what's going to happen next and what will be the best way to respond. And that's really just me speaking to myself. What's goody? Hey, Ben. How's it going? Gorilla, what's goody? Oh, my gosh. Well, thanks for saying so. I'm just running my mouth. Just, sharing a good word. Howdy. Well, that's kind of you to say. But you also have to understand, once you grow into yourself and you're not afraid to use your voice or shine your light, so to speak, while your light can serve as a beacon of hope and salvation for others, light also attracts moths. So to me, that's one of the hardest things to cope with, that, negativity can attract to you just for the fact that you're shining your light. And for me, that's like, I'm still actively trying to learn how to just like deal with that. Neither one. I'm actually trying to decide what I want to have for dinner. And I thought I'd just stop by TikTok and chat it up and, get my chit-chatting out. I appreciate that, Seth. I'm so happy. And that really, really brings me joy to know that, just me sitting here having a conversation, speaking on my experiences in life, can help move someone else. That's really what it's about, okay, guys? The human experience. Yes, I do play video games. So primarily, that's probably what TikTok knows me for right now, is playing my games and doing my photography. I'll be gaming later tonight. I'm going to probably do a little Fortnite, maybe some zombies. Ooh, I know I really want to do zombies because it's just making me want to dance a little bit. But I'm just going to see, because I wanted to do face camera, but I might not. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm going to stream tonight. I don't know what time yet, but it's going to be tonight. Oh my gosh, come on, don't say that, please. Because I don't use TikTok for dating. I do appreciate it. Again, I just appreciate that, but I feel like, I don't just try to be a certain way so people can say that. I'm just being myself. Well, don't be embarrassed. It's like, I get it. I do. I get it. I do. I just feel like, you ever heard like it's a time and place for everything? I feel like on my social medias, I don't really like to get that kind of attention. All right, sounds good. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Okay, Godspeed. I appreciate you saying so. Thanks for the likes. You guys are so kind. Listen, I be in the house. But I hope you're enjoying your Wednesday as well. It's been pretty smooth. It was a kind of a light day. I was a little disappointed at how dreary it was, cloudy outside. So I actually just learned this little fun tidbit, and maybe you guys might already know. So there's something called positive ions, negative ions. They live in the air, many other places. So positive ions are actually related to disease and illness. They live in things like mold and chemicals. It's funny. It's funny to me that they would be called positive ions, but they're actually bad for us. And the negative ions, they're good. Negative ions, they make us feel happy, joyful, all the good feels. But negative ions are actually attracted to clouds. So that's why on gray, dreary, cloudy days, it could just overall have a gloomy energy because all of the negative ions are pretty much being pulled from the air. So once I realized that, I was like, well, I'm coming outside feeling a little gloomy, but at least I know why. So it's like I don't have to try to feel like I need to assign this feeling to something, and just understand that this is just a natural occurrence. Thanks, Tony Cash. Enjoy the rest of yours as well. But learning that, really, I was like, wow, this is awesome. And also, this is why being in pine forests and different nature areas make us feel so good, because it's loaded with negative ions. Do I? JK, listen. You gotta be careful what you say on the internet. It's been raining. I actually also read that if you go out after a heavy rain, you can get some negative ions as well. If you guys want the negative ions. Can't enjoy the sun without the gloom. Yeah, I agree so much. And especially because the showers bring the flowers. And I love seeing the flowers. I find thoughts tend to flow on gloomy days. That's awesome. I love that for you. If I say yes, I'm not going to say yes, but I'm also not going to say no. Well, that's an interesting thought. Okay, thanks so much, Seth. I appreciate that. So also, yes, if you guys like to watch gaming, but bear in mind the vibe that you're getting now. Obviously, when I'm focused on getting my games on, I'm not really like just talking as much, but come check me out. My Twitch link is in my TikTok bio. But that's why I'm trying to keep the balance by still streaming to feed this part of myself and share these messages and speak life and be inspired by others and inspire others. I want to do all of that. But when I'm gaming, I'm gaming. I appreciate it. And I'll be honest, in life, my experience has been, it's just like one of two reactions when people meet me. It's kind of different for males and females. But like men, if I give them the opportunity to see who I really am, they're usually fascinated, easily become obsessed. I never really understood that, but I'm starting to make more sense of it. Women generally gravitate towards me because they're fascinated, easily become obsessed. I never really understood that, but I'm starting to make more sense of it. Women generally gravitate towards me because like women just want to be around pretty women, especially women that might be average looks. They really love to be around very attractive women. But then once they realize how weird, I'm going to say weird because usually that's what they assign it as. It's like they love to hate me, but hate to love me kind of thing. So it's like they want to be around me because of the aesthetic, but like they're weirded out by it. So, I mean, I just feel like relationships for me has just been so strange because of me just being myself. And I'm like, am I just telling myself that, or is that a real thing? Have any of you guys experienced that? Oh my gosh. Thank you. I know. I'm not going to brag on myself because then, they'll hate me even more. But the people closest to me they know how I feel about Destiny. The people closest to me know how I feel about Destiny because I know who I am. But that's why when you just have to kind of like, you got to just be cool about it. No, that's one of the, I'm going to be honest. I'm really not a domestic person. That, I guess we could say that's where I become flawed, is I'm really not a domestic person. I have no interest in the cooking, the cleaning. I'll hire somebody else to do it all day. But cooking, I'll do it if I feel like it. But I also feel like it's just because, you know, when you just live life as a single person, I don't have any dependents, nobody depending on me for meals. I'm just depending on myself. So it's not really a priority. I feel like there's so many other things I'd rather be doing than that. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. See, listen, if the kids and the elders love you, you already know that your energy is right. And animals too. Is that a fact? I'm gonna have to look her up. That's funny. Hassani Frequencies. That's a nice name. I appreciate that. I joke, but you're right. I shouldn't even joke in that way. But I would say my areas of improvement. Those are my areas of improvement. And I know that they'll come once I get into that stage in life, because, you know, once I get into that stage where I have people depending on me, first of all, if I have people depending on me, I know it was very intentional, because I don't like anybody depending on me. Personally, I like to solely only be responsible for myself. But once I have people in my life that I'm like, nah, I want to take care of these people. Probably, you know, my kids, my partner, then it's going to be time for that, and I'll be the best that I can be at that. Because whatever I decide to do, that's just the factor of it all, is I have to decide to do it. It has to be my decision. When things are forced on me, I'm instantly rejecting it. It's so crazy, because even if it's something that is for my best or that I need, if it's forced on me, I'm going to reject it, because I am very much an autonomous person. I have to feel like every decision I'm making is my own without influence. Oh, I love to hear that. Oh, Tony Cash, I appreciate you. And Gorilla, wow, I really love to hear that. So while I don't love to cook, I really do love for having friends who cook. And I think it could even be maybe a slight bit spoiled, because, you know, growing up, my mother always, obviously, she cooked all of our dinners. She always cooked our meals. She wasn't really one of those moms that was like, oh, come over here and watch this. She was more like, okay, get out the kitchen. I'm doing what I'm doing. So it wasn't like cooking was really cultivated within me. But I think I have just gotten used to someone else cooking for me all the time. This is why I like to go out to eat. And we always sat down as a family and had dinner together every night. It was none of that like, oh, I'm going to eat in my room. No, we sitting at the table. We're saying grace. We're eating every night. So another thing, I don't really like to eat by myself. It doesn't feel natural to me. So that's why I also go out to eat, because at least I'm just around people. And it sounds a little nuts, but again, once you just like sit with yourself and try to ask yourself, why am I this way? You start to piece it together and understand. So I understand why I might not really be that much into cooking, and it makes sense when I look at it. I'm a PS5 girl. Thanks, Riz. I appreciate that. I don't want you to cook anything for me, Gorilla, but I appreciate it. Just post some of your delicious meals online so I can just feast on them with my eyes. Well, thanks so much for letting me know. I hope you're on Twitch. You know, join the community, get in the Discord. You get some dubs tonight. Oh, thank you. Listen, speak it into existence, because I definitely need to get some dubs. Like, they've been clowning me on Fortnite. Game and cook. I'm sure it's game and cook and cool. I believe it. Yeah, I have my days where I do community playing. You know, I feel like I just concentrate better when I play by myself. It's easier for me to focus when I don't feel like I got to worry about not letting my team down, because I'm going to die. I'm going to die, for real. Thanks so much for the likes. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your viewership and your time. Let me go ahead and try to get my dinner before it gets too late and I lose all my motivation. You know how that goes? When you wait too long to do something and then you're like, all right, I'm just not going to do it. Because then if I don't eat my dinner, I'm not going to stream. And I do want to stream. So you guys, listen. I'm going to holler at you guys at a later date. We'll have some more juicy convos. And I hope that I catch you on the gameplay tonight. Twitch link is in the bio. Red Dead Redemption. I'm gonna watch some YouTubes about it. Yes, you guys stay blessed as well. And I hope that the rest of your evening goes exactly how you want it to, in a perfect way with no resistance, and that you have the most peaceful night that you've had in a while. All right, later.